I'm very happy to see a lot of people here tonight because it's raining. So I wasn't expecting this much people. It's many people, so I'm very grateful. So tonight, I'm going to talk about what we... So tonight I'm going to talk about something that we all seek in life, and that is money. and that is happiness. Okay. This might sound very cheesy, but if you think about it, yeah, we all look for happiness. We may come from different places, we may have different jobs, but our common goal is that we all want to feel happy, right? Yeah. Happiness is our motivation, and it is also our goal. It is what makes us do what we're doing, and it is also the reward that we look forward to in the end.
So basically money.
Yeah, but it's like, the thing about money is that when you have money, you're gonna feel happy, right?
No, I mean,
Or you're gonna feel sad.
well, both. I mean, it's motivate me to do things. My goal is what makes me. I do my doing, and it's the reward.
Nice. Okay, so I get money is your source of happiness. Okay, thank you, Tom. Okay, so but the thing is about happiness is that you don't always have it, right? The thing about life is that it is very difficult. Your grade maybe isn't as high as you expect it to be. Your okay, maybe your children isn't as good as the neighbors, or maybe your job isn't as interesting as it should be, and maybe you have a bunch of friends, but you still feel alone. Well, you're not alone, because there's other people who are unhappy just like you. Because according to an article published by the World Health Organization in March 2018, there's more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from what's called depression. Okay, to explain the word depression, it means that, excuse me, I'm sweating too much. Okay. I will act like I'm not nervous. Okay. So the thing about depression is that it means that you are very sad, and you are very sad for a very long time, and you just cannot get yourself out of that sadness, and you are not interested in any activity. So the number 300 million people means that, so we have 7 billion people around the world right now, okay? So this means that out of every 23 people, there's one person who's definitely not happy with their life. So let's say this room we have around 30 people. So chances are there's 1 or 2 people in this room who are definitely very sad. Okay, yeah, it's just, you know.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand if you're sad. You will get no discount.
Anyone have depression? Raise your hand, please.
No, that's not how depression works.
Oh,
You look so happy.
Now I'm happy.
Yeah, that's so
We're living in the moment.
Yeah. Right. Oh, yes, that's what it is. Okay, so that's just to give you guys, you know, so that you can kind of know what it's like. All right. So because of this, tonight you and I, we're gonna have an insight and we're gonna look into the 2 causes that keep us away from happiness. All right. Where you guys gonna be short? Okay. First of all, let me ask you, what period of time in our life do you think that is the happiest? Okay, this is a little bit tricky, so let's go. Let's say in human life, we have time when we were a baby, we have time when we're a kid, teenager, adult, elder, and then when we're dead. So amongst the 6 periods of time, which one do you think that is the happiest time in human life? Baby, all right.
We never know, because we never know the death.
That is the happiest time of
Because we
life.
never know that is the
Okay, somebody
afterlife,
please
right?
kill this man. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let's see, raise a hand. How about baby? Nobody. Okay, how about baby? Okay, how about
So you know what to do.
Pay for everything.
Yeah, that's the priority. How about kid? Yeah, baby and kid part is the same. All right. How about teenager?
You don't know
Why you always raise your
Giving speeches.
All Koreans, I have the same
Right
happy.
on the
Yeah, he's like always happy.
move,
Alright,
you know,
and the rest of the whole people doing that. Anybody?
raise your hand?
Raise your hand. Like any Korean.
and you
I guess
you're
really
not
fast,
developing.
alright?
You just developing.
Okay, so enough for
You
this
don't
today.
have
So I guess we can all agree
full
that
development.
the happiest time of a human life is either when we were a kid or when we were a baby, right? Yeah, because when you were a baby and when you were a kid, things were just so simple. Oh, just look at their face. Aren't they cute? Yeah, like most of us, we all used to be cute. And we grow up and we start to look ugly. Yeah, it's like I look at my old picture and I'm like, oh man, I was so handsome. Alright, so when we were kids, we don't have to worry about anything, right? We have most of the kids, they have their parents to take care of everything for them, and aren't we all sometimes wish that we can go back to being a kid for like maybe one day, so that we can feel what it's like to be a kid. Yeah, feel free. Oh, okay. I'm sorry for your childhood.
No. Yes, I prefer to be adult. I have money. I have a lot of stuff.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Yeah, everybody have their opinion. But when we grow up, things start to get really weird. When you were a kid, you say something, everybody laughs. You like say a word. But when you grow up, you try to make a joke. Nobody cares. And it's just sad. You know? Yeah, it's so sad. Okay. And actually, there's so many books, and one of them is our best-selling title based on the concept of going back to being a child. Yeah, it's like, please give me a ticket so I can go back to my childhood. All right. We can agree that yes, childhood is the best time of our lives. All right. So now, raise your hand if you never cried when you were a kid. Wow. Never cried when you were a kid.
I guess you can tell because we never remember we cried.
Yeah, okay, so it's like, I doubt if there's someone who didn't cry. Actually, we do cry right now, right? Sometimes.
Crying from the inside.
Okay, so the thing about being a kid is that we actually cry very often.
Like you?
No, some kid on the internet.
You look so handsome, I think it's you.
Okay, it's not me, okay? I'm much handsomer, much more handsome, alright? So, we cry a lot when we were kids, right? Like too much. Look at this. We cry when we fall, we cry when our mom leaves us alone, and we cry when we want things, and we also cry when we don't want things. Yeah,
Just like bananas, you don't have a
okay, so isn't it quite contradictory? Because you look at this. As far as I know, and I think that as far as all of us we can, agree on, is that tears mean sadness. Like for most of the time.
Yeah,
Most of the time. Yeah, sometimes we laugh too much, we also cry.
and happiness.
Yeah, happiness. We're too happy that we cry. But like usually tears mean sadness. And isn't it quite contradictory that the happiest time of a human life is also the time when we were the most vulnerable? So the thing is, I guess happiness is not about smiling and laughing all the time. Because if you think about it, a person who always smiles is kind of scary, right?
Yeah.
So the real key to happiness here is that we wasn't afraid to cry, and we also wasn't afraid to laugh. The thing about being a kid is that the kid isn't afraid to show its feelings. When we grow up, the most significant thing about growing up is that we start to learn to control and to hide our feelings. We get used to something called etiquette, which means that how you should act in a particular situation, right? Maybe you shouldn't when you're in a meal, when that bird, thank you. But maybe when you were a kid, you bird like your father and your mother gonna clap. So something like that. And you know the society, right? The people, us, we prefer people who's of course and handsome. We prefer people who's funny. So we need to fit in. So we sacrifice ourselves for the sake of fitting in. We act like we are strong. We hide our feelings. And sometimes maybe I think you can relate to this. Maybe you're in a group, you guys were talking, and you think of something that you think is very funny, but you just won't say it because you're afraid that if you say something stupid, they're gonna laugh at you. Yeah, sometimes, right? But the thing is, if you do say it, they're actually gonna laugh at you because it's so stupid.
The worst thing that is you don't say it and some other guy say it and they laugh.
You guys, please give this man a cookie. Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
You could pay my fee.
Okay, so let's move on. So this is exactly what makes us unhappy. It is because we have failed to express ourselves fully. We hold back things, and the thing about happiness is about to be able to express yourself fully. And in the end, the fundamental difference between a kid and an adult is that a kid ain't afraid to show their feelings. Whereas an adult, or maybe people like us, when we grow up and we're well aware enough of things around us, we have to hide our feelings. Okay, so, all right. And that's the first cause. Okay. Well, nowadays, the most common mindset is that you need to achieve something, right? It is very common nowadays, right? Like, achieve something means you need to reach your final goal, you need to become successful, yeah, and so for some people, that is what they fight for every day, their final goal. And actually, it has been like this. It has been like this ever since we were a kid. We were educated. They said, our parents said that you need to get good grade, so we better work hard, or they're gonna love us the hard way. Okay. Okay. Just to give you, I guess, picture. And as we grow a little bit older, let's wrap this by question like, who do you want to be in the future? What is your goal? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? So the thing about these questions is that they motivate you to strive for success, and they make you focus on the result, right? And you feels like only when you reach the result will you feel happy. The result is your happiness, right? Because like you need to get good grades so your parents love you, then you feel happy. You need to get to a certain position in your job so that you can be happy. You need to buy the newest phone so that you can be happy. So happiness here comes with a condition. And if you want to feel happy, you have to work hard, and you need to wait for a very long period of time. Okay, but what if I tell you that that is wrong? You don't have to wait to feel happy. You don't have to wait until the end. You don't have to wait to see the result until you're happy. Okay, so this is Sky Ngui. Okay, he's 24 years old, and he come to our club.
Yeah, really, relative to Santo.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe this guy. Yeah, it's like his big name. So I had the chance to talk to him last week when he take his students here. So the first thing that my first impression when I look at Sky is that just look at him. He's so, active and friendly, and you just want to be friends with him immediately. And after talking to him for a while, I figured out that Sky is apparently running 3 businesses. The first business is that his English class, where he teaches communication skills of English for people of all ages and backgrounds. His other 2 businesses are on your left is a photography studio, and on your right is a t-shirt online business. Okay, and I was very impressed with what he can do. He's 24 years old, And guess what? He also dropped out of college. So you better drop out if you're sorry, that joke is like laughing. I wish it was a baby. Alright, so I was very curious about his doing so many things, and I was kind of admiring his talent, so I asked him, what is your purpose for doing all of this? Because he also did many jobs before that. And then he goes, purpose for doing what? And then I said, you know, the teaching English and many other things you do. You're doing this so that you can get experience or you can build your network so that you can go back to your student when you need them in the future. Sky went into silence, and this is what he said. I do this because I want to train people. You know, I want to create a better community. I make sure that after I train them, they can go back to their job and do it better, or they can find a better job. I just like to train people, which means you like to hit people with a train. Oh, thank you guys. All right. Okay, that just went flat. All right. So when I heard this, the thing is about his answer is that when you think about it, I was quite confused because he teach people and his purpose of teaching is to train people. Isn't that the same thing? He don't teach because he wants to save money or because some other bigger picture in the future. He teach because he enjoys teaching. He find the happiness within the thing that he's doing. And it's turned out that it is the same thing. The teaching and the training, that's why he's so happy. Because one day, maybe that he will not get as much money as he wants, but he will still feel happy because he find the joy in doing it, not at the end. Okay, this is just an example. So, because you know that we have a tendency to look up to and to admire people who are very successful, right? Because they are the one who have a lot of money. It's your happiness, done. And they.
I don't know any one.
No, but you don't need to like know the money. Okay, so you get fame, and you get all the kind of attentions around you. So because of this, some people they want the future that is similar to these people. We all want to become successful so that we can feel happy. That's why some of us, we tend to play it safe. We choose jobs where it would make sure that we will have a job. We choose jobs that are easy to make money, and sometimes we choose the thing that we don't like because it seems easier. And from then on, some people get very stressed about trying to work hard so that they can see the happiness in front of them. But that is not the case. The thing is, if you're not happy with what you're doing right now, then chances are you're not going to be happy later. So it's not about what waiting for you like in the future or in the end. It's about right here and right now. Okay. I assume that everybody here, they all play some games sometimes in their life, right? All the time, yeah. Right. So what is the thing about playing games? Yes, exactly. You play games so that you can have fun. And you have fun while you are playing the game, not at the end of the game. You don't think to yourself, I'm gonna play this shitty game so that I can feel good when the games end, right? You play the game so that you can have fun while you're playing it. When you finish the game, you ain't supposed to feel happy. You're supposed to feel empty. Right? And life is also a game. So, if you, it's like a game's like where you can test things and you live yourself with it.
So you consider yourself as a game?
Oh, no, I consider myself as a game player.
Big game.
Yes. Yeah. Because game is like a kind of imitation of the real life, you know. So if you're having fun with imitation, you better think careful when you work on real thing. So this is not about the happiness is not like at the end, but is in the process. You just have fun while you're doing it. And if you look at life as a game, then once the game ends, the games end when you die. Nothing waiting for you like in the future. It's like that. You're supposed to feel happy right now. So in the end, it's all come down to what makes you happy while you're doing it. Yeah. It's not about achieving anything, because maybe we think that we do this so that we can achieve something. Then we are postponing our happiness. All right. So with all that said, I know that happiness is a very complex topic, and I cannot cover every aspect of it within my talk. But what I hope to leave with you guys tonight is an inspiration. An inspiration that, okay. All right. An inspiration that so that you can express yourself fully, and you will see that the fun is in the journey, and you can start to enjoy your life more fully. That is the end for my presentation. Thank you all. Okay, so does anyone have any question? Me, see if you guys 1 or 2 minutes.
I think you should go to the bathroom to wash your face. You're sweaty.
Don't
worry down.
It's
Calm
okay.
down. Just calm down.
James,
All right.
good job.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Is it for me or for her?
Both of you. I did it 2 times now. But the first one is for her lady first.
Okay.
All right. So I guess if nobody has any question, we
I
will
have a
end.
question.
Okay.
What do you think about the importance of sadness? Sadness.
The importance of sadness.
Yeah, sadness.
Very important.
I think that sadness is
Part of the life.
yeah, it's a part of life. It's not something that you want, but it will be there whether you want it or not.
It's a part of the
I don't know. I don't ask about where it is. I just ask about what's important. Sadness.
It's a part that makes you feel. It will help you sadness and go on you.
Yeah. Thank you. Tom.
You happy like you feel happy way.
Let's into
Alright, so I will repeat what the Matthew said. Okay, just kidding. So it's like
Next time.
I think it's like so life is about up and down, and the things like why you know there's up is because there's down, and so you need to have sadness so that you can learn to appreciate happiness. And I think that's where they both come in, pain and joy. Both of them is the source of happiness.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Thank you for your.
Okay, I have a question. Is the happiness is always good?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, because
I see some of the successful people they get successful because they got the life is ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
They have some unhappiness time, and so they more strong, more motivation, so they get more success. Like, for example, you see some people they live in the very good condition family, their life is always big color, right? They're happy, so and then they cannot make the very big change for the world. In my opinion, I think sometimes if your life is always feel happiness, so I think it's not so good. Always feel satisfied with your life, and then okay, I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy. Always like that. So yeah, so the brain sometimes is lack of creativity. I see. Yeah, my opinion.
okay.
Do you think so?
I agree with you, but the way I look at the word happiness is, I think we have a different definition of happiness. So I look at life and I see there's pain and there's joy. The moment when you feel down is when you're feeling pain, and the moment when you feel satisfied, that is joy, and both of them belong to happiness. it's the thing is that it's
Even
like,
me, I cannot understand.
oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry, stop.
I'm not nervous and you do too much today.
Yes.
You should ask some question easy for him. I mean he sweat all his shirt already.
That's so good. That's so kind.
Are you having fun right now?
Yes.
You look so sad. Okay.
Do you have girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh.
Here.
No, you just make someone unhappy. Don't worry, you still have a lot of available guys.
Like you.
Me, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so is there any more question? Okay, I think we can end the show here and you guys can go back to your free talk. I hope that you can know how fun this was.